Movie shoot playing the role of a fan tonight. Expos scored 3 in the first, helped by Sean Casey. Sean goes home, but you're way too late. Mike Mordecai scores easily, so it's 3-zip. Starter Ron Vallone with his worst outing of the season gives up a pair of 2-run homers to Rondell White. Later, Charlie O'Brien. Expos 8-2. Dante Bichette leads the comeback charge, bangs his 2-run homer in the 7th, cuts the deficit to 9-7. But the rally dies in the 9th with 2 on. Watch Jose Vidro at second base as he stretches out, makes the snag. Ken Griffey Jr. takes the night off. Expos win 9-7.
Major League Baseball caving into public pressure and finally making that Orioles Expos series happen.
Here's a 2-2 now.
Expos wearing the number 9 in Montreal in memory of the late Maurice Rocket Richard. This is Lee Stevens in the second, his 12th, first of 2 he had in the game. The Expos would win 5-3 behind Carl Pavano, who allowed 1 run on 8 hits and 8 hits.
Orioles in Canada couldn't beat Anne Murray if she started for the Expos. Top of the 6th, 5-4. Mike Bordick. Mike Mordecai is there. The pitcher needs to buy Mordecai dinner. That is starting a beautiful 5-4-3 double play. Bottom of 7, still 5-4. How about Vlad Guerrero? Even in metric, that's really far. Guerrero's 16th home run of the season. The Expos survived back-to-back homers by B.J. Surhoff and Charles Johnson to pull out a win. Do not count deposit slips once the game starts. Top of the second, no score. Javier Vasquez against Bernie Williams, and that ball is out. Yanks 9-0 when Bernie homers. Yanks go up 1-zip. It's Bernie's 12th of the year. Moving on, bottom of the 3rd, Yanks still leading 1-zip, and Mike Mordecai. Even metrically, that is a long shot. His only hit of the game, 3rd home run of the season. We're knotted up at 1. Top 8 now, Yanks up 2-1. Tino Martinez. Distance is good, but placement also a key. That is fair. His 6th of the season. He was 2 for 4, raising his average to 272. And with the bases loaded, Bernie comes through. His team now 10-0 when he homers. Here he clears the bases. Leday, Jeter, Spencer all score. Yanks go up 8-1. Williams 4 RBIs in the Expos season high 6-game winning streak over. And for the bad news, Tuesday the Quebec government told the Expos no more financial help. Lead owner Jeffrey Loria may now try and buy out the Quebec shareholders, clearing the way for a potential move out of Montreal.
Guerrero says it's not you, it is all me. A monster shot, his 18th home run. The only hit El Duque allowed his first 5 innings. Top of the 3rd, El Duque suddenly at the plate. Tries to lay down the bunt, tries it, plays a little cat and mouse with Charlie O'Brien. Turns out to be a sac bunt for El Duque on the play. He also went 8 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, and he struck out 5. Bernie Williams against Carl Pavano. Williams, he had 2 hits in this game. He also had 2 steals. That hit put the Yankees up 4-2. Same inning, Mike Johnson now in relief. Tino Martinez hanging out at 3rd, and Jorge Posada. You know, that doesn't even look like it's going over the fence. But it does. A 2-run homer, Posada's 11th. The Yankees go on to the victory. Alan Watson pitching a perfect 9th, helping El Duque post back-to-back wins for the first time since late April. Yanks with a season-high 5 steals off of Charlie O'Brien. And with a Jorge Posada homering, the Yanks improved to 10-0 when he goes deep.
Both Montreal and Toronto with 31 wins so far. One would leave with 32. Why? There's no tying in baseball. Carlos Delgado the other way. Came into this game .713 slugging percentage. That's his 699th career hit. 23rd homer, 16 at home this year. 2-1 Jays. Shannon Stewart had a resume game the other way for the home run, his 7th. Shannon again, this time to the gap. Jose Cruz Jr. scores 3 doubles for Stewart. That ties the club record, also held by Roy Howell and Damaso Garcia. So the Blue Jays are winners 13-3. Lee Stevens, his 14th homer of the year for Montreal in a losing cause. Vlad Guerrero 0 for 2 with 2 walks for Montreal.
While American teams continue to play for the Stanley Cup, Canadian teams play baseball. Vladimir Guerrero. Oh. And that ball is a 2-run no-doubter off Kelvin Escobar. Guerrero 3 for 5. That was his 19th Yank of the year, 4-zip Expos. Tony Armas Jr. He's playing ball, striking out Raul Mondesi on the breaking ball. 3 Ks for Armas. Top of the ninth, 9-1 Expos. Lance Pater having some trouble. That one gets away from the catcher. Catcher gets it. Mike Riley-Ump gets it, and just like that, double barrel. Lance Painter's not a juggler. Tough day for the Blue Jays as the Expos coast to an 11-2 win. So it's 2 Canadian teams.
A. Montreal up 2-0 in the second one. Carlos Delgado. 24th home run of the year. It's a 2-1 ball game. Bottom of the 8th, Expos go to the bullpen. Felipe Lira coming in with the bases full of Jays. Tony Batista busts out the whoop and stick. Cold cuts for everybody. Grand salami time, his 14th home run of the year. Jays go on and win 8-3, taking 2 of 3 from Montreal.
Still a Cub.
27 at bat.
That would be Kerry Wood giving one up to Rondell White. Good power and even better aim. Look at this. One hop and in through the window. First of 2 homers and 4 hits for White. We take another look. Off the street, and then, well, if the window was closed, it would have been broken, and then he would have been scolded by his mom. Fans like, hey, thanks, kill it. Bottom of the 4th, tied at 5, bases are loaded. It's the 11th anniversary of Sammy Sosa's big league debut, and so he decides to triple to celebrate. Augie Ojeda, Gary Matthews, Eric Young all score. That's 1,002 career RBIs for Sosa. Gave the Cubs an 8-5 lead. They would go on to win it 9-8. They get 7 in the 4th. Willie Green solo homer in the 5th.
Sosa and the Cubs hosting Montreal. And yes, the games do go on in Chicago. Poor base running, though, early on by the Expos, costing them, Rob.
Yeah, hey, this can really take you out of a ball game. Peter Bergeron right there, though, it's kind of probably a hit and run. The hitter missed his sign. He didn't swing at it. He gets caught up, and he's dead meat. And right here, Ismael Valdez is going to pick off Jose Vidro. Vidro looking for a sign or something. Wasn't paying attention. He's gone.
Bottom of the 2nd, Joe Girardi, the ground ball. Throw to first just a little bit high. Girardi moves to 2nd on the air. That would be key because Ismael Valdez. Whenever a pitcher gets a hit, we sportscasters contractually obligated to use the phrase, helps his own cause, which is exactly what he did. Girardi scores. It's 1-0 Cubs, and would the run hold up? Well, Vladimir Guerrero thought he'd have something to say about it, but Valdez snares it with the bases loaded there, and they get the double play. Cubs still lead 1-0. After the inning, Valdez would lead. How painful are those, the blisters, Rob?
Pretty painful. Got to get some pickle juice.
That would be painful, too. Now top 7, 1-0 Cubs. Mike Mordecai. To left, Henry Rodriguez. This isn't exactly textbook outfielding, Brian. But
no, Henry helps himself out and the team with the glove. He's usually doing with the bat. He did kind of like a pirouette. You don't see Henry make plays like that in the outfield. He saved the game.
Yeah.
Steve, Expos and Cubs, and we have confirmation this just in. Sammy Sosa still plays in Chicago. And unfortunately, that's bad news for Javier Vasquez. Deep out and gone, Sosa's 20th. He always heats up in June. Game tied at 1. But this one will go to extra innings, top of the 11th, bases loaded, and Michael Barrett with a walk. Vlad Guerrero will scamper home. Barrett 2 for 4, 3 RBI. Don Baylor, woof. As the Expos beat the Cubs in extras 4-3. Sammy now just 5 hits shy.
Pirates and Expos. Umpires gear didn't show up, so they wore Expos gear instead, even though the national uniform is capri pants. We're in the 2nd, no score. Lee Stevens robbed by Kevin Young. Good snag. 6th inning, no score, 2 out. Some more D. Jose Vidro up the middle. Pat Mears, the diving play. Guns down, Vidro over at first. We look again to see how Philadelphian women aged 20 to 25 feel. Mears, the diving stop, the good hose, still scoreless. We're in the 7th, not a score. John Vanderwall against Carl Pavano. And he conks this thing the other way and just does eke out and over his 6th. 1-0 the Pirates. 8th inning, still 1-0. Man on. Peter Bergeron doubles. Terry Jones will come to score. The game is tied up 1-1. Very next batter is Wilton Guerrero. Bergeron will come and score because that ball is through. It's the winning run from second base. Expos 2-1 and win it 2-1. Pavano's now an 8-3 pitcher. He allowed 1 run, that home run, but that was all he allowed.
Lamont, he runs this joint. Jason Kendall, not scared of heights. Against Mike Johnson, Kendall's 5th of the year, put the Pirates up 1-0. Bottom 4 now. Jose Vidro against Chris Benson. And Vidro just responding to a good visual. His 10th of the year, we're tied at 1. Top of the 5th. Warren Morris now facing Johnson with 1 on. It's not all about the long ball all the time. Up the middle, Ramirez would score, put the Pirates up 2-1. It's about timely hitting. Bottom 6, Vidro up again. Jose Vidro in the shadow of Vlad Guerrero. Opposite way, and look where this ends up. Oh, bullseye, right stuck in that padding. And you need to see a replay on that. We had some extra time. Wilton Guerrero facing Benson with the bags full.
Ramirez steps on third.
It's a 5-3 DP. Benson out of the jam, and that was a huge play because the Pirates won, stopping their losing streak. Score was 2-1, despite Vidro going 2 for 4. In fact, Vidro is 6 for 12 with a 3-homer career. 3 homers in his career, she said, against Chris Benson. As for Chris Benson, he lowers his ERA to 2.83.
Bottom 2 bases loaded. Francisco Cordova. He gets Orlando Cabrera to ground into a 5-2-3 double play and gets out of the inning without being touched. John Vanderwall touched Tony Armas Jr. hard. Bases loaded. It's a grand slam. He had 2 homers in the night. Pirates win at 8-3. They're now 2-0 with Doug in the dugout. That's 1 win for each hump by my count. Vanderwall, his 2nd grand slam this season. He had 0 in his first 9 major league seasons. It was also his first ever multi-home run game and 8 for the season, a new career high. Though Big Mackey still not. 7 runs in the 3rd, the Bucks' biggest inning of the year. Lee Stevens hit a pair for Montreal. That's honorable mention.
Pirates Expos, second, 2 out. Pirates up 3-2. Todd Ritchie to Dustin Hermanson. Pass, Pat Mears. Now watch Bruce Avon, the left fielder. Wing is mid at it, can't get it. Hermanson gets to 3rd. Later scored to tie the game. Later same inning. Jose Vidro's your batter. 1 on. Way back. And I believe it's out. Expos go up by a count of 5-3. Vidro 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, batting .368. And Dustin Hermanson is now 5-1 at home this year. 6 of Montreal's last 7 games been decided by 1 run for the season. The Expos are 15-8 in 1-run games. This one gave them a 4-game split.
Phillies and Expos in Montreal. Mike Lieberthal's been hot, so he had the night off. Huh? Jimmy Williams managing this team. Top 1, Bobby Abreu facing Carl Pavano. Doubles to right center. Kevin Sefson comes in. Pavano allowed 2 runs on 5 hits and 6. 1-0 Phils. Bottom 2, Lee Stevens, Randy Wolf. Heads up. Wolf went 7 innings, gave up only 1 run on 6 hits. Bottom 6, there's the bat. Vladimir Guerrero. Up the middle, they wave. Rondell White. Phillies lead 2-1. Guerrero with RBI number 64. Now that's production. Same inning, Michael Barrett lines out to Abreu. He goes over to first. That's the DP. Top 8, Pat Burrell. To left. Run scores. Throw is cut off by Barrett, who underthrows Vidro, and that's a problem. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Rowland and Burrell come in. That's error number 10 for Barrett. The Phillies win 8-1. Phillies have won 5 of 6 and 7 of 9.
Francona watching. Scott Rowland. Back at Johnson. That'd be the 1-4-3 double play. Mike Johnson starting it. Paul Bird facing Jose Vidro. He's got 12 home runs on the year. Expos up 1-0. Bottom 8, 2-1 Expos. 1 out. Nobody on. Vlad Guerrero against Jeff Brantley. That is just a great piece of hitting. 21 home runs on the year, and that's how the drama would end in Montreal. 3-1 your final. The win allowed the Expos to avoid the weekend sweep. Vidro is the first National Leaguer to reach 100 hits. He has already tied his career high in homers with 12. Guerrero went 2 for 3. His average is now .365. Mike Johnson goes 7 strong, earning his 3rd win.
It's the man in the shadow of Vlad Guerrero, Jose Vidro, opposite way. His 13th home run of the year, 2-0 Montreal. Still in the first, Chris Widger at the plate, and Widger is so money and he doesn't even know it. His 9th homer of the year. It's a solo shot, 3-0 Montreal. It was 4-0 in the 3rd when Lee Stevens goes deep. Number 17, Stevens, 4 for 4, and Glavine allows 3 homers to 3 different batters in a game for the first time since 1988 when he did it against the Mets. Meanwhile, on the mound for Montreal, Tony Armas Jr. Solid against Q, Kilvio Veras. And then 5-1 Montreal, Wandell White lines it. Andrew Jones, nice play. Take another look. Why weren't you looking the first time? But that's why we're here. Great play. Gets the ball so quickly, does Andrew. Top of the 8th, 1-on-6 for Montreal. Anthony Telford in relief against Galarraga. Vidro and the Expos get out of the jam. Expos win 6-4. Braves lead in the East over the Mets, now just 2 games.
Second, 2 out. Walt Weiss up, way back against Dustin Hermanson. That must have hurt, except he caught it, so he's okay. 3rd inning, Andrew Jones up. Kilvio Veras over at 3rd. Jones. Michael Barrett does not handle it. Veras scores. Atlanta leads 1-0. 5th inning, Chipper Jones up. Andrew Jones out at 2nd. Chipper pops it up. Doesn't look like much. But it drops in, and it's a double even. Chipper goes 3 for 4, 3 runs scored. Andrew Jones scores there to make it a 4-1 game. Top of the 7th, Andrew Jones at the plate. Atlanta's up 5-2. He liked it. Felipe Lira serving that up. 21st for Jones. Atlanta wins it by a count of 7-4. Terry Mulholland, the winner in this game, 8-6 after this. He's 17-4 all-time against Montreal.
Braden Looper on the hill. Chris Widger bats broken. Over the head of Looper. Fox charges. Fields fires. Widger in. Derek Lee's coming home. Guerrero safe. From second, it's 4-4. Widger's infield single, which plates 2. Here's Vladimir Guerrero.
Vladimir Guerrero moving on anything, swung at with 2 strikes. Notice how he's already in position. He rounds third base, doesn't stop. Tough play for the first baseman. Comes up looking for their Guerrero, doesn't stop. I tell you, that guy hustles, hustles, hustles.
The one knock on Guerrero has been his fielding, and it would cost him in the 9th. Tied it 4 with a man on. Kotsay into right. Vladimir over. Ooh, that can't happen. Not in that spot. Luis Castillo would score from first, and the Marlins on that error. His 6th
Canada today, and you know you don't want him to invade. Ryan Dempster on the mound for the Marlins. Mike Johnson for the Expos. The first time 2 Canadian-born pitchers have started a game in Canada. Top 4, Dempster hitting .075, but gets the knock here. Dave Berg scores. Marlins up 4-1. Antonio Alfonseco, bottom 9, trying to protect a 6-5 lead. Lenny Webster, kid in this house right now. Double play. Marlins hold on to win it 6-5. First ever head-to-head matchup of Canada. That goes to Ryan Dempster. He's now 9-4, allows 3 runs in 6 2/3. The Expos, Mark Johnson, 6 runs in 4 innings for the loss. Mark Kotsay, the offense, 3 knocks, including a homer.
After the game, top of the 5th, tied at 1. Mark Smith takes Santana deep and gone. Second home of the game, 4th of the year. Marlins up 2-1. Top of the 7th, 1 out and bases loaded. Reed Cornelius grounds it to Orlando Cabrera, who boots it to Jose Vidro, completes the double play. Your unorthodox 6-4-3 double play, and the Marlins are back at 500, coming up with their first ever sweep of the Expos.
Fire up and let's go, boys. Bottom of the 1st, the new papa, Chipper Jones. But Rondell White is there to slide and make the catch. And I suppose you just think I'm a miracle worker and get the dirt out of those pants. Top 3rd, 2 on for Jose Vidro, and Terry Mulholland throws him a big fat one. 3-run homer, almost takes out a cameraman. Vidro's 14th. It's 3-0 Expos. Nate was just getting started. Ismael Viejas, this is his major league debut, which means that's his first home run that he's ever given up. Orlando Cabrera, 3-run homer. This ain't the Sally League, kid. 10-1 Expos. Top 7, same score. A Braves highlight. Not offensively, though. Andrew Jones making a fine defensive play. About the only defense we saw. The rest was bad pitching. Same inning. 2 on for Rondell White. He can swing a bat. Just crushes that one. 3-run shot. They measured it 445. That's a long tape measure. 11th of the year. 13-1 Expos. Cabrera, a 2-run homer. 2nd of the game. 8th of the season. 16-1 Expos. And because they weren't done yet, top 9 Jose Vidro at the plate, and he hits his 2nd of the night. Makes it 17-1. They're the first tandem of middle infielders to hit 2 homers each since the Braves, Jeff Blauser and Mark Lemke in May of '93. That's solid statistic there. Tony Armas, with plenty of run support, beats Atlanta for the 2nd time in a week. Orlando Cabrera, the 4 hits. A night after his 14-game hitting streak ended, Vidro started up again with 3 knocks. The hits and runs allowed, both season worst for the Braves.
Believes it was up. 2 pitches later, Maddox does get the strikeout. After the strikeout, Bobby Cox is still a bit upset about the terrible call. He gets into it with Cousins. It's an antonym, not a homonym! Cousins throws him out. And then it got really silly. The 2 come very close together. Cox comes up with the forearm. I guess he did anyway. 3-1, make it 2-1 in the 3rd. Greg Maddox fired up. Rondell White is too. Blast that thing. Maddox, the good reflex, gets White over at first. 3-1 is your score. 2 out. Chipper Jones against Dustin Hermanson. Oh, off the glove. Rondell White couldn't get it. Kilvio Alvarez, Andrew Jones score. Game tied at 3. By the way, there were no outs there. Just wanted to fix that part. Now we're in the 7th. 6-3 Braves leading this thing. Anthony Teleford against Chipper Jones. And even with derogatory credit, you can own a brand new car. His 20th, 7-3 Braves, and they win it by that very score. So Bobby Cox tossed for the 4th time this season. Probably inspired the guys or something. Chipper Jones, your National League starter, 3rd next week, drove in 3 with a home run and a double. And Greg Maddux returned to fine form.
Game lead over the Mets heading into this game against the Expos. Bobby Cox, he will manage the All-Star team for the NL. Bases empty for Chipper Jones. Off the Javier Vasquez, 451 feet away was that shot, the 2nd longest homer ever at Turner. 1-0 Atlanta. Bottom 6 were tied. Runners on the corners, 2 out. Bobby Cox does not pinch hit for Kevin Millwood. So Millwood strikes out against Vasquez. We're tied at 3. Top 7, Expos up 4-3. 2 on for Vladimir Guerrero, an all-star. 3 for 4 was Guerrero in this game. Jose Vidro would score. The Expos go up 5-3. Bottom 7, Braves with runners on 1st and 3rd. For the big cat, Andres Galarraga. Good to see him on the NL All-Star team. Right here, he grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. And this looks scary in the end. Galarraga would fall down, but he'd be okay. And the Expos were still up 5-3. Bottom 9, Gildy Overas did hit a home run to make it 6-4. Then it's Chipper time. Again. 22nd home run of the year, his 16th multi-homer game of his career. Expos now up only 6-5. 2 outs. Andres Galarraga, big spot against Steve Klein. Can't even find it. Doesn't know where it is, and the Expos hang on to win. Vlad Guerrero and Jose Vidro combined to go 5 for 8 with 3 runs and 3 RBI.
For hose down, we're in the 3rd no score. 1 on. John Burkett against Jose Vidro. Goes up the middle. Peter Bergeron comes to score. 1-0 the Expos. Vidro goes 3 for 5. Vlad Guerrero, home run. 23rd for him. Expos lead at 4-0. Bottom 9, 4-2 Expos. 2 out, 1 on. Gildy Overas. He's your batter against Steve Klein. If it's foul, it's a strike. Strike. Worked it to 3-2. Long at bat. Full count here. And grounds this to Orlando Cabrera. Silly hop, but he wings it across. Expos win it 4-2. The Expos took 3 out of 4 in Atlanta. This win got them to 500. 7 back of Atlanta in the NL East. The Braves lead of the Mets down to a game and a half now. Vlad Guerrero and Jose Vidro are both batting .500 against Braves pitching this season. You can't explain it, Vidro said. We can't.
For the all-star Jose Vidro, and he shows why. Off Kelvin Escobar, it is off the wall. Brings home Terry Jones. Somewhere Michael Palin is smiling. Expos cut the deficit to 4-2. Bottom of the 7th, tied at 5. 1 man on for Vidro. Different pitcher, same result. This time off Pedro Borbon. Jones scores from first. Expos go up 6-5 on the RBI double. Vidro 2 for 5 of the game. He's hitting .379. Bottom of the 8th, 6-5 Expos, 1 out, bases loaded. There, your visual proof. Orlando Cabrera off Borbon into center field. Jose Cruz Jr. drops the ball. And then to compound the problems, Chris Woodward bobbles the relay throw. 3-run score. Expos break this one open. They win it 10-5. 3rd straight win for the Expos, 4th in their last 5 games. They like this interleague thing. They're 21-9 against AL opponents at Olympic Stadium since 1997. Jays and Expos, David Wells looking for win number 15, facing Mike Mordecai with 1 out in the 2nd, and he gets him with the big curve. Top of the 4th now, runners on 1st and 3rd. Raul Mondesi off Tony Armas Jr. That is number 22 on the year for Mondesi, and the Blue Jays go up 3-0. Bottom of the 5th, Wells facing Felipe Lira. Easy out, right? Wrong. The pitcher going deep, his first career homer. Expos cut it to 4-3, and Lira takes a curtain call for that throng of 17,000 in Montreal. Top of the 7th now, it is Jose Cruz Jr. This is history, his 20th of the year. The Blue Jays, the first team ever to have 4 players with 20 or more homers before the break. But Wells, the story in this one, gets Jose Vidro to end the inning in the 7th. Wells struck out 3, gave up just 5 hits in 7 innings.
To Atlanta for the All-Star game. That's Raul Mondesi riding this pitch from Dustin Hermanson. 3-run homer, 23rd on the year, 5-1 Jays. Later in the inning, still 5-1, 2 on for Darren Fletcher. To right, and Vlad Guerrero has some problems. Carlos Delgado will score. 6-1 Toronto. It was 8-1 Toronto in the 6th. Bases loaded, and it's Batista.
I don't know what this for the game on Tuesday.
Homer Bush and Mondesi score. 10-1 Toronto. Batista 3 for 5, 3 RBIs. Jays go on to win it by the final of 13-3. The 18 hits marks a season high for the Jays. Mondesi has homered in 3 straight games. Frank Castillo has won 5 straight decisions. I mentioned Batista, who was added to the All-Star team prior to the game, goes 3 for 5.
Big car. Vladdy, yeah, number 3 in the National League in slugging. Reach out and touch someone, just laid that out, gone.
I think he was full on that pitch, wasn't he?
You hit the rocket ball out. It's a 2-0 game. Gerald Williams batting. Mike DeFelice on second with 2 outs. We got a play to the plate. Lee Stevens to throw the play. They got him. Yeah. Make that call. DeFelice out. Javier Vasquez on the hill here, Ray.
Well, I had him last week. Was really impressed with his ability to throw strikes and his curveball. Here you're going to see how good his fastball is, actually straight changeup there. Then he comes back with another changeup, solid changeup, good curveball, a lot of strikes. Going to be a good pitcher.
Now here in the 5th, 3-1 Expos, Gerald Williams here, and whoa! Where? Camera guy having problems. Where did that go?
Well, you know, Fenway has all those quirks. Well, Tropicana has quirks too, but it's an airborne obstacle course. And we hit an unidentified hanging object, which we believe to be a speaker. But some of those things are considered home runs, and it's a home run for Gerald Williams.
That's 400 feet away, that speaker here. Bubba Trammell, he just got a number on that, but that's with the bases loaded and nobody out in a 4-4 game, and it brought in a run. Whatever works. Tampa Bay takes the lead 5-4, and they win it 6-4 is the final.
Out of the second 1-1 game, runners on base for Gerald Williams. 2-run single up the middle off Tony Armas Jr., 3-1 D-Rays. Williams 4 RBI on the night, homered for the 3rd straight game as well. Top of the 7th now, 7-2 D-Rays. Albie Lopez facing Terry Jones. Back up the middle, and Lopez begins the double play. 1-6-3 if you're scoring at home, but if you're sitting at home scoring Sports Center highlights, you probably ought to get out more. Lopez induced 4 double plays on the night. D-Rays win at 8-5.
On at the plate, facing Steve Traxel. Bergeron gets a base hit to left field. Steve Cox has trouble with the handle. Barrett scores. 2-zip Expos. Cox gets charged with the E, the dreaded error. Bottom 3 is where we go next. D-Rays with a chance to cut the lead. Gerald Williams at the plate, runner on second. He hits one to left field. Jose Guillen heads home. Terry Jones makes the throw, and you're out of there. Terrific throw. Chris Widger out. Mild concussion. He would have to leave the game. Expos go on to get the victory. They stopped their slide at 4 games, and they beat Steve Traxel for the first time. You see, he had won his first 6 decisions against Montreal.
In his territory. Then Everett walks on 4 pitches from Mike Johnson. Jason Varitek, next batter. Double down the line. Everett will come plateward. Vladimir Guerrero comes up throwing. Everett scores on the play, which ties this game at 1. Top 3, it's Guerrero. It's gone.
My goodness.
That is a monster over the monster.
Has that thing landed yet?
May hit a car. Bottom 6, Carl Everett up 1 on 2 outs, getting closer to the plate, and he unloads. 22 of his 25 home runs from the left side. Boston leads 5-2. Later in the inning, Jason Varitek at the plate. The All-Star Jose Vidro. Nice play. Top 7, Tim Wakefield against Terry Jones, and getting his man, Lenny Webster, once apiece, and doesn't get any. Peter Bergeron is going to test Nomar Garciaparra, and the All-Star gets his man. Boston goes on to win it. Wakefield gets the victory. Wakefield, who joined the Boston rotation at the end of June, has won his last 4 starts.
Bottom 2nd. There's Garciaparra against Julio Santana, the former driller, and that's over the monster. His 13th of the year, the 10,000th home run in Red Sox history, and they lead 1-0. Bottom 5th, Jeff Fassaro, already allowed a home run. There's a base hit to Wilton Guerrero. Jerry Jones is going to score, and we're tied at 2, and Jimmy Williams just a bit nervous sitting there in the dugout. 2 batters later, Fassaro facing Jose Vidro, and the first pitch, he fouls it back and away. Williams sees that and says, you know, Vidro's got my man Tom. I'm going to get the hook. Fassaro, he is not happy. A little verbal penance on his way to the shower. Richard Garces comes in and gets him out of the inning. Bottom 7th, Anthony Teleford facing Morgan Burkhart, 2-2. Looks like strike 3. Ump says, ball, you got to stand back in there. And on the next one, he walks, and now Teleford, he's not pleased. So we're still in the 7th. Steve Klein, making his major league leading 50th appearance, gives up the gopher ball to Troy O'Leary. Instead of being out of the inning, it gets really, really bad. O'Leary's 8th. Red Sox taking the 5-3 lead. And with the bases chucked, there's Nomar. Guys hitting the ball like a grapefruit these days. Darren Lewis will score. The Red Sox win at 7-3. Nomar 3 for 3, walked twice, back hitting 400. Everett wears the collar in 4 trips. Montreal winless in 5 games at Fenway. Next batter, Jose Vidro, and behold the power of cheese. He then walked Vladimir Guerrero, Lee Stevens. That's some sharp cheddar. Pedro strikes out the side in the first. 12 Ks. It was a nice night, so he decided to go with short sleeves. 2 outs. Michael Barrett driving the pitch to center. Darren Lewis back. There's a wall. He's not intimidated by the wall. Pedro gets out of that with 7 pitches. Top 7 Expos down 1-zip. Fernando Seguanol, the base hit. That's going to rattle around in right field corner. Jeff Bloom will score. We're tied at 1. Top 7, 2 out. Lenny Webster right back at Pedro. He can field his position. Bottom 7th, Darren Lewis. Man on 3rd. How about getting down the suicide squeeze on a very high pitch? Bernard Gilkey scores. Red Sox lead at 2-1. Top 8, 2 on, 2 out. Stevens, Offerman, Pedro now covering. Good fundamentals. He gets out with a 3-1 win. 5 hits, 1 run in 8 innings. Earns his first win since June 8th. Nomar 1 for 3. His average slips to .399. Carl Everett missed the game with a sore hand. More time off coming, probably. A disciplined decision on his temper tantrum.
The Mets and the Expos here. Glennon Rush getting the start for the Mets. 6th inning, 2-1 Expos. Mike Mordecai, the shot to center. Jay Payton. Fancy play. Still 2-1 Expos. 7th inning, 2 on, 1 out. Game is tied at 2. Vlad Guerrero against Pat Mahomes. That's going to the wall. Chula! Guerrero, also known as Guerrero, pulls up Lame running first. Wilton Guerrero comes in to score, not Lame. Guerrero left the game. Bad hip flexor. 7th inning, loaded up, 1 out. Chris Widger going to right. Derek Bell, the catch. The big hose coming home. Mike Piazza applies the tag. Jose Vidro's gone. Still 3-2 Expos. Steve Klein on the mound. Joe McEwing, the single to center. Jay Payton coming to score. Benny Agbayani avoids the tag by Chris Widger, and he scores 4-3 Mets. After the inning, Steve Klein politely knocks before entering the clubhouse. The Mets added an empty netter to win it by a count of 5-3. The Expos have dumped 4 straight, 8 of 9. Also lost pitcher Tony Armas Jr. to the 15-day DL.
At 1-0, Melvin Moore driving it deep to center. Milton Bradley apparently has a monopoly on going into the wall of voodoo. Terrific catch in his 2nd major league game. Highlight worthy. Bottom 7, Expos up 2-1. Bases are juiced. Chris Widger, who just owns Mike Hampton. Wilton Guerrero and Jose Vidro would score. Fernando Seguinal hoped he would too, but he is toast. His slide didn't even make it there. Widger 8 for 12 lifetime against Hampton. Couple hits in this one. It's 4-1 Expos. Felipe Alou decides to stick with Dustin Hermanson, and Hermanson gets Derek Bell for the 2nd out, and then Mark Johnson, after Bell eventually leaves, sit on it. Potsy. Alou's a genius. 8 2/3, 8 Ks for Hermanson, and some good defensive help from Michael Barrett in the 9th to Rob Piazza, who was hustling all the way. Expos win it 4-1. Vladimir Guerrero missed his first start of the season with a strained right hip flexor. Montreal fired pitching coach Bobby Cuellar and bench coach Luis Pujols. At
bottom 2 bases juice for Mark Kotsay against Mike Thurman. And Thurman gets himself out of a jam. 3-1 Expos. Top 5, Expos leading 6-1. The rookie shortstop, Tomas De La Rosa. Something in here about La Vida Loca, I guess. First major league hit as a home run. The Expos lead 7-1. They go on to win by a final of 7-3. Jose Vidro goes 3 out of 5. His average now .362 on the year. The Expos, who would love to have that pitch back. 3rd homer of the season for Tracy. Plenty of good seats still available. Grand Slam, Montreal's first of the year. Expos up 5-1. Top 5, Tracy again doing some damage. 2 runs come across. Tracy, 6 RBI to this point. Expos lead 12-2. Top 7, Tracy looking to pad the stats. Another base knock. That would score a run. Tracy tying an Expos rookie record with 7 RBI. The Expos blow out the Marlins 17-7. Tracy a grand slam and 7 driven in. Mike.
Glendon Rush just playing games with Milton Bradley, and then getting Jeff Bloom, who went 0 for 4, and also going 0 for 4, Chris Widger. Rush would strike out 5 in the game, looking for his first win in 5 starts. Mike Piazza reaching out and finding some space. 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, giving the Mets a 1-0 lead. Piazza hitting .350 right now. The NL hits leader, Jose Vidro, grounding to Todd Zeile. Firing home to Peter Bergeron. You know, it's not pretty sometimes for Piazza, but he gets it done. Rush still in trouble, bases full, one out, facing Jeff Bloom, Melvin Mora. All right, don't rip Melvin Mora. That was a nice play to Fonzie. Rush goes scoreless in 7. Later in the game, Expos dugout seemed amused by. Do that imitation with a cat again, John. Okay, good. You know, that's hard to duplicate. Mets win.
Making his big league debut. Top 1, Andy Tracy to Derek Bell, and he takes it right in the mug.
Bradley, and he will stop there as the throw comes all the way.
Bradley going to stop all the way at 3rd. Bell misplays it right on the jaw. He would have to leave the game, get 3 stitches in his chin. And you know what? Somebody left the ball out on the warning track, and it's still lying around out there. Top 1 with the bases loaded. Jose Vidro goes out there, and Joe McEwitt. Which one? Watch out for that one. That's the fake ball. That's no ball. We want a real ball. 3-run score. Expos up early, 3-0. Robert Shell for 6 earned runs on 6 hits and 1 1/3. Bottom 8, Scott Strickland pitching. Todd Zeile singling. Joe McEwitt, they're going to wave him in. This will tie it 8-8. Zeile 3 for 5 on Thursday. Next batter, Matt Franco facing Steve Klein. It's to center. Edgardo Alfonso scores. Franco 3 for 4 with a couple RBIs. Mets win the opener 9-8. Grant Roberts was sent back to AAA Norfolk after the game. They needed to make room on the roster for Kurt Abbott, saying afterwards, I didn't show the real Grant Roberts, and I
really well or less well, and Harris had trouble at 3rd. Boots that, air number 1. Top of 2nd, 1 out, 2 runners on for Lenny Webster, and Harris again can't come up with it. Run scores, air number 2. Mets had 4 errors. Harris would homer though. 2 runners on. Jay Payton against Hideki Arabu. Chula off the wall. Good cutoff. Bradley gets it, wings it home. Mike Mordecai's throw hits Benny Agbayani. Ball gets away. Payton comes to score. Double and 2-base error on Mordecai. 3-2. The Mets in front. Scary moment here for the Mets. Hampton throwing. Check out Edgardo Alfonso pointing to the outfield because, as you saw in the first game, Derek Bell had been hit, and here he is down, and he left this game complaining of some dizziness. The Mets figure him as on the day-to-day category. The Mets win this thing by a count of 4-3. Mets get a sweep even as Mike.
Junior Griffey's first Olympic Stadium appearance. Top 1, Sean Casey taking Mike Johnson to right. Chris Steins will score. Vladimir Guerrero having all kinds of problems out there. Junior scores. Casey to 3rd. It's Vlad the Impaler's 8th error. Johnson tagged for 6 runs on 8 hits and 5 innings. Bottom 1, Peter Bergeron. To right, Dante Bichette sticks the landing. That's gorgeous. Top 2 now. The bases are loaded. Brant Arnsberg, new Montreal pitching coach. You know what? How do we approach Griffey? That ain't it. His 14th career grand slam and 2nd this season. Junior's home run is his 32nd of the year. And the Reds win 8-3. I don't think he said go out there and just lay one.
Top 9, Jose Vidro. And that's a base hit. As Montreal and Cincinnati would go late into this one, Ken Griffey Jr., the base hit. Down the line, drives in Barry Larkin. And Griffey would end up at 3rd. Now it's Dante Bichette with a base hit to left field. Another run comes in to score. But the big story of this game was Eddie Taubensee. We'll get to him in a moment. Lee Stevens here from Montreal. Dimitri Young with a spectacular effort makes the catch. Now it's Taubensee in the top of the 9th. A swing and a drive. Looking for the tie. 2 outs. Gone his 5th of the year. We're all tied up at 3. Bottom of the 9th, runners on 1st and 2nd, Harold, for Chris Widger.
Well, it's the big at-bat. Widger doesn't get the butt down, butts it a little hard. Great play by Steins, who's playing 3rd base this game, to know where he's at, turn around, make the play. Next hitter, base hit to left field, but Dimitri Young charges hard, comes up with a strong throw, and guns him down at the plate, Bill. So they come up with 2 big plays in the 9th, and then Taubensee comes back in the 10th.
And the 11th, he does it again. He tied it, and here, the go-ahead run, another home run for him, and that proved to be the difference as the Reds win it by the score of 4-3. So Taubensee, 2 home runs in the game, just has 6 on the year. Reds improved to 20-12 in 1-run games, best in the league. Mark Waller's 2 perfect innings. Denny Graves improves to 10-2 with 3 scoreless innings of relief. Now,
in pain, he stayed in for a while. Top 4 with Casey in third. Eddie Taubensee was putting it down all weekend. Brings in Casey. Taubensee with the double. Casey left the game with a sore right leg. Taubensee off the charts. He went 10 for 14 in the series to raise his average from 239 to 264. Top 6, Casey's replacement, Dimitri Young. Oh, that's tight. His 12th jack of the year. Taubensee said later, it's starting to get exciting for us. Top 9, Dante Bichette with 2 on and 2 out. Raking. Alex Ochoa, Barry Larkin score. Bichette in with a double, one of 11 red hits. Cincinnati wins at 7-4, and they sweep up Montreal with a old broom.
Early, top second, 2 outs, man on second. The pitcher, Mike Thurman, intentionally walks Mike Matheny. That brings up the pitcher, Darryl Kyle, with 2 on, 2 out, and the pitcher can hit. Kyle hitting 143 this year. Sean Dunston would score 1-0 St. Louis. Bottom 3 now, 2 outs, man on first and third for Milton Bradley. Bradley, a game player toward the gap. Sean Dunston, nice catch. Dunston also 1 for 4 in this game. The score remains 1-0. It was 2-0 though suddenly in the 6th. J.D. Drew. Drew facing Thurman. Drew not scared of heights. His 15th home run of the year. His only hit of the game, by the way. He's hitting 292. Cards go up 3-0. And that would be more than enough for the curvaceous Darryl Kyle, getting Vlad Guerrero, who was 2 for 4 in this game, and then getting Mike Thurman looking at finally Peter Bergeron can't find it. 6 hits, 6 Ks for Kyle. Top 8 now, 1 out for Fernando Tatis. Who let the dogs out? Tatis, his 14th home run of the year. And the Cardinals win easily thanks to Darryl Kyle, his 8th career shutout and his 23rd complete game of his career. His